Yeah. Uh, Welcome back to the show. My name is Sachi. Just let you know, you couldn't stop me. You think I'm better than half of these rappers up on this list? I best believe that nobody else can top King.
Thank you for checking out Late Night Laz. Here's your host, Laz.
La 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 la. What the fuck did I just do that and the opening bullshit crappy freestyle for? Anyway, welcome to Late Night Laz, and we back with a new episode. I'm excited for this one, but first, did y'all know that I go by the AKA of Big Sachi, AKA the Finesse Fish, AKA the Penn State Duck, AKA your baby mama's favorite baby daddy? And now, shout out to Riff Raff, I am the Versace Python. See, it's coming like that. We here for it, but we are back with an all new episode of Late Night Lives. And to give a little backstory behind this episode, right? So I was at work, and yes, I have a job. I, man, so I'm sitting there, and don't judge me. I'm listening to Taylor Swift, the Red album, and I was like, bro, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. And I was like, bro, this was high key Taylor's best era. But I thought to myself, how many other best eras have I lived through, right? How many artists have I lived through the rise, the peak, and not downfall? I won't say that, but how many times have I seen the rise, the peak, and the eventual, I guess, consistency or like slow burn or like quality decline of an artist? I got a few. I got a few. So you are now tapped into the ERAS episode. Okay. The ERAS episode of Late Night Laz. Again, excuse my chair. This motherfucker squeaks. Now I got 7 names of artists that I adore. Oh, not all artists, but like 5 artists, 2 distinct genres that had their eras. I'm going to discuss. I'm going to try to keep it within the same format that I've kept it in, 40 minutes, if I can keep it at that. Now, I also noticed that I haven't been putting the music that I've recorded in the middle for like a little break, intermission. Mainly because I got to buy a new microphone. Well, not a microphone. I got to buy a... What's the joint called again? Like the thing that filters out the filter, and then I gotta buy a mic stand so the way I can like keep it in the right spot, so the way it sounds good in the filter, so the way like the quality and like the background noise and everything isn't so distinct, I guess. But that's beside the point though. Anyway, as soon as I get all that set and I gotta re-record Lonely Boy Hours, then I gotta record. If you need anything, call me later. And then, boom, I'm working on the short film again, which I have all new ideas for it. And then after that, I'm taking like a short break because I've already, my brain is like burnt out, but like I can never stop writing. So 9 times out of 10, after like probably 2 or 3 months, I'm probably going to start working on a whole new trilogy of music projects that I've been pushing like Omega, Beta, Alpha for the longest time. Like those are honestly, I feel like that's gonna be like my magnum opus when it comes to music. Like, cause I'm not a big artist whatsoever, but like I feel like I do my music and I do things in a very distinct, different way than most artists in my city. So it's like I feel like I need to go about it differently in order to stand out. Like I'm not getting a lot of listens, a lot of this, a lot of that. And that's fine, because I'd rather have like good quality music than just to like, you know, be. I do want to be more consistent with it, but like I'd rather like take my time and get the music right, and hopefully people still rock with it. But if they don't, again, that's fine. Like I'll still find a way. But like again, then I got to do so much to get to where I actually want to be. But anyway, yeah, man, this is the ERAS episode, so don't forget. So I have to upload this on SoundCloud and fucking... Well, I can't upload on SoundCloud anymore because I have no more space unless I pay for Next Pro, but I don't really trust putting my money through that right now. So like right now, the podcast might exclusively be on YouTube for a bit until I get that whole thing sorted out. I've been trying to figure out how to get it on like Spotify and Apple for a long time now. So like if anybody got any ideas on how I can do that, let me know, man. Let me know. But yep, the ERAS episode, and this is about to be, in my opinion, a really fire discussion that I'm gonna end up having with myself because I don't have a co-host yet. But without further ado, man, let's get to it. Number one on my list, Lil Wayne. Now, this man has dominated the rap game for the longest time. He's dominated from 98, and he still has a chokehold on it now. But in my opinion, in my personal opinion, like Wayne's rise in 2005 to 2005 all the way up to 2011 was like peak Wayne, like banger after banger after banger, like fire album quality. Every song was a hit after hit after hit. And it's like, if you don't believe me, like that's fine. You don't have to. But like once I tell you like the projects that this man came out with, the singles, every single one of them, from '05 to fucking like 2011, and like the mixtapes too. His music has been consistently Wayne, even if the quality of the verses hasn't always been up to snuff, right? But he still, to this day, still holds the title as one of the absolute greatest rappers on this planet. We're not going to act like he doesn't. But we would also be foolish to say that there wasn't a time in Wayne's career that he hasn't had a decline in the quality of his music. See, I'm a real Wayne fan. I've been listening to Wayne since then. But you got people who are like, who are just now getting into Wayne. It's like, no, you don't know peak Wayne. Like, we all know peak Wayne. Like, peak Wayne was absolutely, positively the Carter 3. 2008 was peak Wayne. Like, he came in with '05. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he came in with the Carter. Yeah, that was '04. And, like, it still had, like, he came out, as soon as he hit Go DJ in late 2004, he hit the ground running from there on in. And then came the Carter 2. And this motherfucker hit us with Fireman. And, like, the streets have never never looked back when it came to Wayne. I had a discussion with one of my coworkers when I used to work at another convenience store about, I think, a year and a half to 2 years back. And me and this man got into a discussion, like, which one would you rather have on rotation? Carter 2 or the Carter 3? And as much of, I said Carter 3 because to me the Carter 3, like, that holds, like, that had a chokehold. Because everything from Carter 3 was an absolute fire. It was so fire. But then, like, with Carter 2, with Fireman and Hustle Music, like, those were on continuous rotation when Wayne came out. And then the Dedication series, we already knew that when he came out with the Dedication 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? And then when I don't really count a lot of the stuff that he did with, I guess, with Birdman and Cash Money and YMCMB, because it was very low key at that time. But Wayne as a solo artist from 2005 to 2011 goes absolutely untouched. And we haven't even touched the Carter 3 yet, because if we gonna sit here and act like y'all motherfuckers didn't have Lollipop on rotation, a Millie on absolute rotation. When I tell you that a Millie was knocking the bass through speakers in every fucking car, I mean that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then Got Money, Miss Officer with Bobby Valentino. Bro, that song, how significant is it to this day if you just see if you see somebody and go, wee, 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 like a cap. Like, bro, that holds cultural significance. That was, but then sadly, you know what I'm saying? Wayne had a bit. The quality started to show. The decline started to show around 2010 when he dropped Rebirth, when he tried to experimental rock, which it came out with like a few fire hits, but like the two more distinct ones are Prom Queen and Drop the World with Eminem. But it's pretty much a largely unforgettable, like a lot of, it's something that the true Wayne fan just absolutely wants to forget. But then when he came out with I Am Not a Human Being, and you know what I'm saying, again, another relatively unforgettable album without, you know what I'm saying, with Right Above It on it, which is still a fire song. Like if you watch Ballers on the Max streaming platform, then you're just like, oh shit, this is still fire. And then Sorry for the Wait was absolutely fire. If you love nothing but just like banger remixes, that nigga Wayne will give you an absolute fire remix on whatever song that he decides to touch. But you know what I'm saying, that to me, like from Sorry to the Wait to Carter 4, like those two to me, and again, let's not forget, this is my opinion, these last two to me were this was Wayne at his peak. And then after Carter 4, to me, the decline happened. And that's when you weren't getting songs like, you know what I'm saying, John, 6 or 7 foot, She Will. And we all know that She Will was an oh my god, she just started to pop it for a nigga, like back and tell me, baby, it's real. Like, nigga, if that's not the most fire fucking shit. So it's like, and then that shit, John, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a star, somebody lied, I got a chop in the car. Like, it's it after Carter 4, that's when Wayne was still Wayne, right? We not gonna deny it, Wayne was still Wayne, but a lot of the stuff that he dropped after 2011, it declined, man. It definitely hit. It definitely hit a slump, and I'm not acting like Wayne ain't fire, because I keep saying that this motherfucker is, but it hasn't been the same. So it's like, to me personally, the Wayne era started. It hit its stride in 2005. But it slumped in 2011. Consistency breeds contentment. Contentment leads to no effort. Bow. There we go. All right. Number 2, The Apprentice of Wayne. One of my favorites. Young Drake. Young Drizzy. Young Money. Cash Money. YMCMB. You heard me? Rich. Gang. I don't know why I just said that or did that. But young Aubrey Graham, this motherfucker, his era, it was he came out the gate swinging, right? And I'm not gonna act like he didn't, because this motherfucker came out swinging. And I'm not, from Room for Improvement, Comeback Season, to what was the joint? It was So Far Gone. That's when he kicked through the door. And I do believe that was 2009. 2009, this motherfucker kicked through the door, and then he ran off with the door. That's exactly what happened. From 2009 to 2015, Drake absolutely had it on lockdown. And we not going to act like he didn't, because everybody was singing Best Ever Had, Successful, I'm Going In. Motherfuckers were listening to, you know what I'm saying, Thank Me Later for every single banger that he had on there. What's that joint? I was just listening to it last. It was the joint on Thank Me Later. It was Drake and Nicki. I'll be up all night, whole cruising here. That shit still bangs. And that's not even peak Drake. Let me tell y'all when peak Drake came on. When Drake was absolutely at his peak, and I will tell you where. His peak came pretty early, right? Because he gave us Take Care, right? He gave us Take Care, and it honestly, it will never. He will never not have a he will never have another Take Care. In the same way that Kanye will never have another Graduation. There'll not be he can try, but he never will. Like that, his peak came with Take Care, and Take Care has so many like bangers and like seven singles, right? Marvin's Room, Make Me Proud, Motto, Take Care, Hell Yeah, Fucking Right, Crew Love with The Weeknd, and then Marvin's Room, and Marvin's Room, it made young me very, very sad. Excuse me, draw some. But it made young me very sad when I had nothing to be sad about. And then, and after that, nothing was the same. And then the mixtapes, nothing was the same. It's still a certified classic as well. Because Started From the Bottom, Now We Here, people still quote it. And even randomly, if you can be somewhere and then someone, just start singing Hold On, We're Going Home. Pound Cake with Jay-Z is an elite God tier song, especially off of this album. In every Drake album, there is an elite God tier song with a feature that is absolutely it's heavenly, right? And I feel like with Nothing Was the Same, I put it on the same level as Take Care because his peak came early, yes, but he gave us 2 bomb albums. And then after that, 2 fire mixtapes, but it was not to the best quality of the albums that he has put out. So it's like he knows what he's doing when it comes to the album part. But, album Drake and like emotional melancholy Drake, that's what we're getting on the first 2 in regards to Take Care. Nothing Was the Same because Pound Cake has an elite feature from Jay-Z, but then you have songs, underrated cuts like the joint he did with Janae Eco, and it from there it just kind of takes a dip, right? Because this era, everybody was nonstop playing Drake, especially, that What a Time to Be Alive, the joint that he did with Future. And Jumpman was, again, played all over, but that was only one single off of an overall forgettable mixtape, in a way. Say what you want, it's my opinion. It is what it is. But then after that, after all the overhype that this album has gotten, largely underwhelming, but still a few bangers off of it, because we still listen to Hotline Bling and One Dance, Controller, but there was an absolute because of the overhypeness, it kind of made Views seem like a meh album. Like it's not really it's not what it should have been, in a way, as much as it was overhyped. That's why I say from 2009 to 2015 that was absolutely Drake's, because it was consistent fire banger Drake. And then 2015 there was a decline in a lot of it. Again, my opinion, say what you want. Now, number 3 had a relatively short era, right? And the Lil Uzi Vert era had to be my favorite era because everybody in their mama was like, what? Yeah. Uzi. What? Like, it was, oh man, the Lil Uzi, it was fun. It was fun. It was technically SoundCloud. It was like SoundCloud level rap, right? But it was so fun, right? Because when he came out with Love Is Rage, Lil Uzi Vert versus the World, You know what I'm saying? Love is Rage 2. Love is Rage 1.5. He came up with 1017 versus the world. You know what I'm saying? Uzi came out the joint swinging when he had Money Longer, and like this motherfucker came out with New Protect. Like Uzi came through and he made 2015 to 2017 fun. He had it on lock for about a good 2 years. Okay. And it's not to discredit Uzi because I love Uzi. I don't listen to a lot of new Uzi because I'm kind of underwhelmed by his music now. But when he came in, it was so fresh. His music just seemed like a party. So it's like, I still have Love is Rage 2 downloaded on my phone, and I go back to it. It's unskippable, that album. Like none that like that album is absolutely unskippable, and that was the peak for Uzi, in my opinion, because the same mistake that excuse me, the same mistake that Drake made with the overhyping of views, he made with the overhyping and underwhelming rollout of Eternal Attack or Eternal Take. That's what he did. And to me, that closed out Uzi's era. Don't get me wrong. If it would have lived up to the hype that he put around it, it would have been I wouldn't say a classic, but it would have kept him at the top of where he wanted to be. But to resort to making TikTok music in order to keep your career, quote unquote, alive, I just want to rock. I just want to rock. I just want to party out of here. I get it, right? But to have that sharp, like that slip, it came too fast. And he had so much potential with being like the most fire SoundCloud artist to come out of that era, bro. Like that shit. And I had, oh man, the faith that I had in Uzi, bro, because everybody was gassing up Lil Yachty at that point, and I was just like, you know what? Let's see what this motherfucker Uzi hitting for, right? And I'm looking at the Pink tape that he just put out. I don't want to listen to this. I could, man, but it's just like not fucking really. Maybe, man, but I don't know. I hate that the era of Uzi is done, because he definitely could have. He could have had it on lock for like 10, 15 years, man. Because when you come out with something as fire as EXO Tour Life, and you come out with fucking The Way Life Goes and Pretty Mommy, the whole Love is Rage 2 album was all I had on rotation for like months on end. So it's like, bro, what the fuck happened? Number 4, and her era is very interesting. This isn't a rapper. She is the reason why I made this list. Taylor Swift. And before motherfuckers judge me, y'all don't understand that I was a Disney kid. And guess what was playing on Disney? Taylor Swift. Guess what was, unapologetically and unironically, guess what I used to listen to? And I'm sure a lot of people my age can attest to this. Radio fucking Disney. All right, so guess what? I heard a lot of Taylor Swift. Am I the biggest Taylor Swift fan? No. But I acknowledge that when she hit the scene, she became a force to be reckoned with in 2008. From 2008 to 2014, Taylor Swift. If it wasn't a relationship, and I'm not here to talk about her relationships. I'm here to talk about the music, because every song that she put out, every album that she put out from 2008 to 2014 was absolutely iconic. The singles alone, right? And all I gotta say is this one, because this was high key the one that was played everywhere. Not even on Disney Channel. This was played everywhere. You Belong with Me. Imagine you in 2009 looking your crush square in the eye and saying, if you can see that I'm the only one that understands you, and see that you belong with me. Like, nigga, what? Are you quoting Taylor Swift? What? Like, are you quoting Taylor Swift? Yes, I'm quoting Taylor Swift. Love story. When you're 15 and somebody tells you that they love you, are you gonna believe them? Bro. Sorry, there's a fucking fly in here and it's starting to really like freak me out. But then we get to Elite. This is peak right here. Peak Taylor Swift. To me, 2012, when she came out with Red. And when I tell you that we are never getting back together. And I'm saying this because I'm older now. I can say this now without motherfuckers trying to like throw me in a trash can or something. My senior year, I listened to a lot of hip hop music. But because I had headphones, I would also listen to We Are Never, Ever, Ever Getting Back Together. Fire, right? Shorty said, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Nigga. And then, of course, I Knew You Were Trouble. To me, the Red album, Red, to me, was peak Taylor Swift. In the same way that Nelly Furtado, when she came out with Promiscuous, and she had the joints with Timbaland, and she said, and I quote, hold up, I gotta see this, because she said that she would never do another album like Loose again, which it's okay. It's fine. She said it, and it's fine, but that was peak Nelly Furtado. And in the same way, I feel like this is peak Taylor Swift. Like, you can't, when you come out with something as dope as Red, and then Give It Again, she followed up with 1989. But then after that, and we're not gonna, I'm gonna dive into 1989 because Shake It Off was everywhere. It was irritating as fuck. And then, you know what I'm saying, Bad Blood was fire, the Kendrick feature. And then Blank Space still plays at my job, and I sing it. But like that after that, that's when the era concluded. When 1989 came out, the decline of it kind of happened. The singles weren't hitting the way they used to. The albums weren't popping the way they were, and I get it. It happens with people's careers, which is it's understandable. It's understandable. Now with this next one, I'm not really going into much detail of it. You can search it up if you want to. Smooth R&B, talking like the love song, like with the candlelight, all that shit. That died around 2004. That era of smooth, baby making R&B music, that era's done. Now it's toxic, and I talked about this in an R&B episode. R&B isn't dead. It's just a whole new era. But the era of smooth baby making, like not even baby making, like smooth, crying to get your woman back, singing in the rain with the, you know, like Ray J did in the One Wish video. That era's done. Don't expect that no more. That era peaked and dropped and concluded in 2004. It's over with. Right? As soon as Trey Songz came out, it was over. That's when motherfuckers was just trying to get smashed in the club. Like that era's done. Sad to see it go. Glad it was here. But that, man. All right. This one down to the last two. This is number 6. Jay-Z, Young Hov. Love Jay-Z. He's one of my top 3 rappers. It goes Kanye, Jay-Z, and Wale. I don't really care for anybody's opinion on my list. Love those 3. I love the music of Kanye. I love the music of Kanye. the music, I don't care for the person, the individual, but the music is fire. And he's also had a bit of a decline as of lately. I didn't put him on the list though. Jay-Z from 1998 to 2009, which is an 11-year elite career. We not 10 years. 10 years. All right. Okay. Now he came out again swinging, and his peak didn't come until he decided to take a step back. His decline didn't come until he decided to take a step back. And what was supposed to be his conclusion, what was supposed to be him ending at the top, which was the Black Album, was his peak. Abso-fucking-lutely. Right? Now, that was 2003. Now, when he came back with Kingdom Come, it was dead. It was over with. Right? That's when the decline definitely was supposed to happen. That album came out the gate and nobody fucking cared that it was there. But it was like, oh shit, Jay-Z's back. But after hearing it, do you really want to listen to Kingdom Come? Do you? And then he came out with Blueprint, American Gangster, which, you know what I'm saying, whoop-de-doo, it's there. It's there, right? But then Blueprint 3, you know what I'm saying, to me, you know what I'm saying, that's where another peak happened. A rapper can have multiple peaks, an artist can have multiple peaks, but this peak came in stages. The second peak came in 2009. Okay? Now, we all know what happened in 2009. You already know what came out from Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Death of Autotune. We had Empire State of Mind, which still is played at New York Knicks games everywhere. Alicia Keys still plays this song. I still love Empire State of Mind because in New York, there's concrete jungles where dreams are made of, and there is nothing that you can't do. I'm not singing the rest. But then, you know what I'm saying, we have On to the Next, which is a banger. You know what I'm saying? Run This Town with Rihanna and Kanye West, which played so much on MTV early in the morning when I was getting ready for school. And then A Star Is Born with J. Cole, because fuck yeah, dude, that's early Cole. And like, if you go back and listen to that Cole verse, it's like, that nigga was put sunning. He came through sunning, motherfucker. He was there. He was absolutely there. But then came another. This peak happened with Blueprint 3. But then in 2011, this is where, you know what I'm saying, there was a slight resurgence. But I wouldn't call it his own because him and Kanye West both were on Watch the Throne. But this is just single artists, single people who do it on their own, right? This is just for them. So his peak as a solo came in 2009 when he dropped the Blueprint 3. Now, granted, Hove is an untouched, elite, top-level lyricist. He is the GOAT in my mind, in my heart. I believe that Jay-Z is the greatest rapper to ever touch a microphone. Now, I can still acknowledge that, you know, Jay-Z has his stages. You know what I'm saying? Early in his career, you got drug dealer Jay-Z. And then, you know what I'm saying, you got executive Jay-Z. And then you got family man Jay-Z. And you got, you know what I'm saying, you know, there are different stages to Jay-Z. So you got to understand that era of Jay-Z to really listen to that Jay-Z. Now, when he came out with 444, everybody was like, oh my God, this was the greatest Jay-Z. It wasn't his greatest. Like, the story of OJ was pretty fucking good. Like, I would go back and listen to 444, and I'm just like, what? And I would listen because I love Hov, but at the same time, I was like, bro, what? All right. So to me, in my personal opinion, from 98 to 2009, that was his era. And after 2009, Hov stayed around. He gives us himself in small doses, but him coming out with a pure full-length album, that era stopped for me in 2009. And this right here, the last one, the final one, is to me is a pretty fun era as well, because it kind of coincides with the Uzi era, and that's the SoundCloud rapper era. From 2015 to 2019, the most interesting 4 years. We were graced with some interesting motherfuckers who still have some of them who still have the music industry on lock, like Lil Uzi Vert, Kodak Black, 21 Savage. You know what I'm saying? But there was a few who, you know what I'm saying, did not make it through the era. You know what I'm saying? And that era was, everybody was on. I was on SoundCloud, not as much as them, but I was on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And like a lot of them lived and died with that era. Ugly God, Smoke Perp, you know what I'm saying? What is it? P&B Rock, wasn't it? Lil Pump. I don't know who the fuck Rico Nasty is. Lil Peep definitely died with that era. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the fuck Ski Master Slump God is, but it's like a few people made it out that era. And yes, I'm reading off a list when it comes to the SoundCloud rap, because I didn't listen to a lot of SoundCloud rap, but the SoundCloud rap that I did listen to was fucking great. But a few people lived and died with that era, because you don't hear from a lot of them no more. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of rappers hit their peak, hit their stride in that era, like the Lil Pumps, the Smoke Perps, the Ski Master Slump Gods, and you don't hear from a lot of them no more because that era is no longer relevant. A lot of the people that was able to stand out in that era came through with something different, and then when they capitalized on it in order to elevate past just being a SoundCloud rapper. So, like the Lil Uzi Verts, the Trippie Reds, the what's Trippie Reds sometimes, the 21 Savages, all of them elevated past the SoundCloud rapper era. But a lot of them died with it, and it sucks to say it, because like a few of them I did enjoy. Like Ugly Guy, to me, he was hilarious. The man was absolutely hilarious, and like, thanks Ugly God was fucking, it was I'm not gonna say adorable, but it was good. It was great. I didn't even know Post Malone was in the SoundCloud rapper era. Juice World, he probably came out the most prominent. If he would have sadly not passed, he probably would have been at the forefront of the newer generation of rappers right now. But sadly, we didn't get to see what he could have brought to the table. But a lot of the rappers that came out the SoundCloud era definitely died with that era. They're still here, but their relevance is absolutely dead. Because if someone were to put on Gucci Gang now, you would tell somebody to cut that shit off, right? You know what I'm saying? If someone were to put on, you know what I'm saying? Bitch, you guessed it. What the fuck are you playing this in my car for? Like, it would be, you would wonder, why is this happening? But it's like, a lot of people lived and died in that era when it came to SoundCloud rap. And no one's checking for it anymore. And that's understandable, because it's just not good, a lot of the quality that came out of that era. But it's just like, you didn't care about nothing back then. It's just, I just want bangers. 2015, I was like 2 years out of high school. It was like, yeah, these are fire. And it's like, I'm just doing dumb stupid shit with my friends. So why not have this as the soundtrack to my buffoonery? So that's what made it fun to me. And that era, around the time, like the turn of, after around the end of the 2010s came, that's when that era came to an astute end, which I'm not surprised that it did, though, because you could see the decline in the rappers that came out of SoundCloud. But yeah, man, that yeah, I don't really have a conclusion to that statement, but yeah, I gotta get better at that. But yo, man, this was the ERAS episode, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, don't fuck. How do I end this? Because I feel like I got a lot more to say, but I want to keep this at a lower. I feel like I can go a little bit longer. The SoundCloud era. The SoundCloud era brought peace to a lot of people in that time. Again, I was 2 years out of high school, so it's like I'm listening to all the sound. I'm listening to these motherfuckers. I'm listening to Chance. I'm listening to, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to you know, to these motherfuckers. I'm listening to 21, Kodak, Trippie Redd. I'm listening to these motherfuckers. And it's like, all of it made life better in 2015. And let's not forget, a lot of people weren't on, like Fetty Wap was very fire at that time. I wouldn't really put him as a SoundCloud rapper, but it's just like a lot of the rap that we got back then was from SoundCloud. So to watch that era come to an end, it hurt a little bit because it's like that era was the soundtrack to not even my buffoonery, but my earlier adult life was a lot of stupid mistakes, and it's like, and a lot of fun memories. So you just like, you have that music to hold on to, and you listen to it as you get older, and you're just like, oh, I got memories attached to this song. But then you also listen to the music like, why the fuck was I listening to this dumb shit? So it's like from 2015 to 2019, that era concluded, and then from 2019 on, TikTok music definitely made a sharp rise. Now, when is the decline of that gonna happen? I don't know, but I'm here for it. Because the peak is going to be interesting. And the decline is going to be incredible. And I can't wait to see what's after that. And you know what else I can't wait for? The next episode of Late Night Lies. Thank you for listening. Now I'm going to conclude it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, play it, share it with everybody you know and love. And next week, I'm going to drop another episode. Because, again, I love this shit. So, thank you for listening. Te amo. I love you. Peace.